We'll jump right into tonight's agenda. First item is our roll call. So, Mr. Evans, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Fox.
Here.
Ms. Chambers.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Eisenbacher.
Here.
Mr. Desmond.
Here.
Mr. Kenkry.
Here.
Mr. Bossenbrook.
Here. Okay, we'll now move to our statement of procedure. Mr. Desmond, to my immediate right, if you could read our statement of procedure whenever you're ready.
The Zoning Board of Appeals is a group of 7 of your neighbors appointed by the Troy City Council to decide on requests for variances and other matters that are brought before them. A variance is a relaxation of the literal provisions of the zoning ordinance. Applicants must indicate a hardship or practical difficulty with the land that would warrant the granting of the variance. The board will hear the items in the order that they appear on the approved agenda. When an item is called, the chairperson will verify that the applicant is present. Then the city administration will summarize the facts of the case. If there is less than a full board, 7 members, present at a meeting, an applicant may request a postponement so his or her request can be heard by a full board. If there is no request for a postponement, the applicant will then be given an opportunity to address the board to explain the justification for the action requested. After the applicant makes their presentation and answers any questions that the board may have, the chairperson will open the public hearing. Any person wishing to speak on the request should raise their hand, and when recognized by the chairperson, come up to the podium. The speaker should identify themselves with name and address, indicate their relationship to the property in question, i.e. next door neighbor, live behind property, etc., and state whether they are in favor of or against the variance request and give reasons for their opinion. Comments must be directed through the chairperson. Comments should be kept as brief as possible and closely pertain to the matter under consideration. Only one person will be recognized by the chairperson to speak at one time. At the conclusion of public comments, the chairperson will close the public hearing. Once the public hearing is closed, no other public comment will be taken unless in response to a specific question by a member of the board. The board will then make a motion to approve, deny, or postpone the request. In order for the request to pass, a minimum of 4 votes are needed. If the request is not granted, the applicant has the right to appeal the board's decision to Oakland County Circuit Court.
Thank you, Mr. Desmond. That's our statement of procedure. Moving on to the approval of our meeting minutes from our August 2025 meeting. Unless there's any discussion on the minutes that were provided in our packet, would there be a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve our minutes from our August meeting.
Second.
All right, we have a motion on the table, seconded. Any further discussion? Mr. Evans?
Mr. Bossenbrook.
Yes.
Ms. Chambers.
You're present.
This is for the
I'm
minutes.
sorry. Approved, agreed? Okay.
Mr. Kenkry.
Yes.
Mr. Eisenbacher.
Yes.
Mr. McCauley.
Yes.
Mr. Fox.
Yes.
Mr. Desmond.
Yes.
All right, minutes have been approved from August. Now we'll turn to tonight's agenda for approval as printed, unless there's any discussion. Members of the board, don't see any, so we will consider tonight's agenda approved, which will take us to the hearing of our one case tonight, which is at 2488 Lannergan. And we'll turn to Mr. Evans from the city, if he will present for us whenever he's ready.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes, this is a 2488 Lannergan, as printed in the agenda. This is a variance request to allow a home addition to be set back 20.75 feet from the front Beach Road property line. The zoning ordinance requires a 40-foot setback from the front property line. This neighborhood is located bounded by Waddles, Coolidge, Big Beaver, and Adams. In the overhead here, it's circled in red, and I'll continue to zoom in. This is the property at the northeast corner of Lannergan and Beach. Now, this is the zoning map, and everything you see in yellow is single-family residential. I'll continue to zoom in, and that's our latest aerial. The applicant was here and received a variance in August, and they've decided to add some things to that. That's why they're here tonight. So they're asking for that plus more. So what we approved in August stays, but now they're asking for more things, and the applicant can talk more about that if the board needs them to clarify. But with the site plan here, we've got Beach Road to the left and Lannergan here, and this is their site plan, and they're indicating right here that this is the distance they're going to be from the Beach Road front property line. There's approximately 20.75 feet. The minimum required setback is 40 feet. That's shown by this blue line here. And in the packet, they provided some renderings of how the proposed project will look when it's done. And I'll turn it back over to the board for any questions.
Any members of the board wish to bring any questions to the city staff? All right, not seeing any questions forthcoming. We'll now invite the applicant forward or his representative. And if you could identify yourself and please present your statement of practical difficulty.
My name's Doug Klee. I am the president, owner of Main Street Design Build in Birmingham. I am here again. A bit of a surprise that we were coming here so early. We came in, what we said in August? We came in August to request a variance because of the complexity of the corner lot. That was the issue, is that it was being governed by 2 front yards instead of a side yard. Code required that it was 50, can we go back to the site plan, Mr. Evans? Code required that it was 50 feet from the road. We needed to build an addition above an existing garage. If you remember, you probably don't, but I'll give you a little bit of history on this. We were going to build an addition above the garage, and a elevator shaft in the house. The situation caused to build above the garage. It needed to be torn down because it was not structurally sound enough to hold that. If we were going to rebuild a garage, it made sense to build one at 24 feet of depth just to be able to fit a car in it, which took us out to 19 feet, 1.5 inches away from the setback, or it was setback, but it was still 50 feet from the road. Okay, so that was the intent. That got approved, and that was great. We went back to the homeowner. We planned to move forward with it. We started talking about it, and he had always kind of dreamt of this kind of rear family room addition. He started questioning the idea of how to get a ramp and how to get out of the car and deal with the getting into the addition that we were building. And so he's requested that we build a kind of a sidecar addition, so to speak, behind the garage so that we could put a side door in there and then allow a ramp to go up at a reasonable pitch to get back into the house. We added into that just this little mudroom space and a powder room space. We knew that the issue, or the only hand raised last time, was the idea that it coming at that corner. What corner is that? Langren and
Beach.
That it would be a sightline issue, and so this particular part of the addition is actually set further back, 1 foot 10.5 inches from the prior variance that was issued. The structure also, we wanted to keep it as reasonable as possible in terms of size, and so we've downsized it and did a flat roof just to make it aesthetically pleasing to the neighborhood. I don't feel like it's going to cause any issue with the neighborhood. We don't feel like it's going to cause any issue on the intersection. And we're staying inside of this new line that's indicated in blue there so that we can respect the rule that was granted last time. Questions for me?
How is this not of a personal nature?
Not of a personal nature because if we don't do it, we're going to have a hard time. You're going to have a hard time pulling into that garage and getting up the ramp that's going to have to go into the house through the dining room that exists in this house.
But that's specific to the homeowner, right? Like if there's a different homeowner, they might not have that specific issue, right?
Correct. But this house is being built with a elevator, so the intent is so anybody that's going to live in this house could age in place with it. So the idea of having the ramp goes hand in hand with the idea of having a elevator.
Any other members of the board have questions? Mr. Kinkery?
If somebody is using a wheelchair, then this would be an issue for anybody who uses a wheelchair who would live in this house?
With this additional work, it would not be, but if this additional work doesn't happen, then it's going to be become very funky inside of the garage. You're going to be able to park 2 cars in there, but to get to the wheelchair ramps entrance, you'd have to cross in front of both cars and then turn. It wouldn't really make any sense. This allows one van to pull into the center, get off the side door, go in out through the side door, go up the ramp into the house. It should work fine.
What I'm asking is that if this change is not made and if somebody is in a wheelchair, then that person would have difficulty
Very much so.
able to negotiate and to come in the house.
That's correct.
Any other questions from the board? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time. We will now open up the public hearing on this matter. I believe we have one item of written correspondence that was passed out to us on our podium. Mr. Desmond, would you like to read it or summarize it for us?
We do have one. They are against. They have a concern allowing the setback reduced from 40 to 20 due to the fact that it is a very busy road. They're concerned that it's not an appearance issue, but a possible safety issue. That is Nancy and Mike Jones. I do not see an indication of where they live relative to the property within this email, though.
All right, thank you, Mr. Desmond. I don't see anyone rushing forward from the audience, so I will close the public hearing. Now bring it back to the members of the board for any discussion. Yeah, Mr. McCauley.
Basically, we did approve this out to the 20-foot, 9 inches into the right-of-way, into the setback. The only thing that we're doing is now we're adding a piece into the backyard area that, because it's still the same, but it's shorter than what we already approved. So this isn't even, if, you wouldn't even see this from my perspective. This addition is not going to be visible. It's not going to change the sight lines. It's not going to change anything. It makes more sense for accessibility for the current homeowner or any homeowner in the future that needs accessibility access through the house, which this could be a good selling point down the road when this house goes up for sale, because this, you don't see many houses with these accommodations. I don't see this as any major item. I would support it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Or bring a motion? And Mr. Eisenbacher.
I will, let me get to the right page for moving the resolution up here at the top. Okay. Motion template for granting the variance. I would like to move the resolution that the variance request for 2488 Lannergan for the petitioner be granted for the following reasons. The applicant has demonstrated the exceptional characteristic of the property for which the variance is sought makes compliant with the dimensional requirements substantially more difficult than would be the case for a great majority of the properties in the same zoning district because of the large setback off of Beach Road and the existing house location. Characteristics of the property which shall be considered include the exceptional narrowness, shallowness, smallness, irregular shape, topography, vegetation, and other similar characteristics. B, the characteristic is related to this premises, not another location. C, characteristic which makes compliance with the dimensional requirements is not of a personal nature. It's accessibility for handicap access. D, characteristic which makes compliance with the dimensional requirements difficult was not created by the current or previous owner. The house was built before the current zoning classification was put in place. And E, proposed variance will not be harmful or alter the essential character of the area in which the property is located, nor will it impair an adequate supply of air, light and air to adjacent properties, or unreasonably increase the congestion in public streets, or increase the danger of fire, or endanger the public safety, or unreasonably diminish or impair established property value within the surrounding area, or in any other respect impair that public health, safety, comfort, morals, or welfare of the inhabitants of the city. As we saw through the presentation last time and this time.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
All right, seconded by Ms. Chambers. Mr. Fox?
I just want to make sure for the record it's stated, I don't know if I heard Mr. Eisenbacher say at the corner lot, it has 2 front yards, would fall under the exceptional characteristic as well. So just wanted to make sure it was stated.
All right, we have a motion pending, seconded by Ms. Chambers. Any further discussion? All right, I vote against the motion. I think this fails the requirement that it not be of a personal nature. This, to me, clearly is the type of variance that's specific to the property owner, not to the property. It depends specifically on the property owner's circumstances and doesn't necessarily travel with any potential future homeowner. So I think it fails in that regard because the homeowner has to meet every single element of statement of practical difficulty. Any further discussion, or we can move to a vote? Mr. Evans?
And this is a motion to grant. Mr. McCauley?
Yes.
Mr. Bossenbrook?
No.
Mr. Eisenbacher?
Yes.
Mr. Kenkre?
Yes.
Mr. Fox?
Yes.
Mr. Desmond?
No.
Ms. Chambers?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes 5-2. So that concludes our hearing of the case at 2488 Lannergan. We'll move on to item number 6, our communications. Mr. Evans, do we have any communications?
Just that the proposed schedule for next year is in front of you, for next year's meetings, and I have nothing scheduled for December.
Nothing for December.
That's correct.
All right. Any other miscellaneous business to attend to? Don't see any. We'll open up for any public comments from any members of the board or there's no one left in the chamber, so. All right, seeing no public comment, we will be adjourned perhaps till January.
Correct.
All right, we'll have a good Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, and we'll see you in 2026.
Absolutely.
Fast.
Record breaker.